Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. Check 1 2. Test test. Landon Stadium. Hills United and Sydney United round 20 action. How's that? We good? Yep, beauty.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Landon Stadium for tonight's Round 20 National Premier League New South Wales men's clash between your Hills United and our visitors from Sydney United 58. Hills United are proudly sponsored by Snooze Castle Hill, Ivory's Special Coatings, AAA Tyre Factory, Phoenix Building Approvals, and IC Homes. The starting lineups for both teams this evening are as follows. For Hills United, number 1, Ryan Wood. Number 5, Daniel Petkovsky. Number 9, Yu Okubo. Number 11, Anthony Frangi. Number 12, Jordan Lane. Number 13, Cam Philp. Number 15, Noah Casserly. Number 19, Glenn Killshaw. Number 22, Byron Ginn. Number 26, Thomas Mako. And number 27, Nikolai Muller. Substitutes for Hills United, number 7, Wade Giovanali. Number 10, Jamal Belcardi. Number 14, Sam O'Connor. Number 21, Emlyn Cross. Number 24, Sunday Yona. And number 42, Kazra Manutri. For Sydney United, their lineup is as follows. Number 58, Oliver Kalic. Number 2, Christian Gonzalez. Number 6, Adam Zervis. Number 7, Jordan Ivancic. Number 8, Shunta Nakamura. Number 10, Carlos de Oliveira. Number 13, Alessandro Lacaranda. Number 14, Liam McGinn. Number 15, Tarek Meyer. Substitutes for Sydney United. Number 4, Adrian Vastalica. Number 9, Patrick Antelmi. Number 11, Matthew Hatch. Number 17, Matthew Mikolovsky. Number 29, Joshua Attard. And number 40, Malik Chamberstein. The referee tonight is Stephen Lucas. The assistant referees Aaron Block and Lindsay Edmonds. And the 4th official is Charbel Guido. Officials and both teams from Sydney United 58 and your Hills United.
Well, into the final third of the season we go. Time flies when you're having fun, as they say. And before you know it, round 20 of the National Premier League Men's New South Wales competition is upon us. We're here Saturday night, 7 p.m. kickoff at Landon Stadium with your hosts, Hills United, preparing to do battle with Sydney United 58. Pete Pryor with you on the call this evening to take you through all the action as it unfolds. An absolute pleasure to have your company wherever it is in the world you may be watching from. Let's get to the team news because there is just a bit of it. Starting for Hills United, of course, in goal, the ever-present number 1, Ryan Wood. Number 5, Daniel Petkovsky. Number 9, Yu Akubo. Number 11, Anthony Frangi. Number 12, Jordan Lane. Number 13, Cam Philp. Number 15, Noah Casserly. Number 19, of course, the captain, Glenn Kelshaw. 22, Byron Ginn. 26, Thomas Mako. And the 27, Nikolai Muller. For the away side this evening, Sydney United 58, of course, ever present in goal. Wearing number 58 this evening, Oliver Kalach. Number 2, Christian Gonzalez. Number 5 will be wearing the captain's armband this evening, Anthony Tomalich. Number 6 will be Adam Zerbis. 7, Jordan Ivancic. Number 8, Shunta Nakamura. Number 10, of course, Carlos de Oliveira. The 12, Marco Arambasic. The 13, Alessandro Lacalandra. 14, Liam McGing. And 15, Tarek Meyer. Of course, no Adrian Vlastelica this evening. He does return to the bench, however, for Sydney United. Of course, standing captain Anthony Tomalich will wear the armband for the second week in a row. Hills United coming into this one looking to bounce back from their midweek defeat at the hands of Sydney FC. Going down 3-1 in that one. 3 points tonight would go a long way to consolidating their place in the top flight for next season, as they look to potentially hoist themselves even further up the ladder. For Sydney United, currently sitting in 6th spot, occupying that finals spot. Of course, anything less than finals this season would be very sorely disregarded by their fans, I'm sure. It is Sydney United, of course, who get us underway for the first half of this one at Landon Stadium. They're kicking from right to left on your screens, immediately looking to launch one forward to that far channel. Of course, as we said, on the bench this evening for Sydney United, making his return from injury, slowly but surely, Adrian Vlastelica. He's joined by Patrick Antelmi, Matthew Hatch, Matthew Nikolovsky, Josh Attard, of course, as well as Malik Shamsuddin, who made his debut midweek as well. I should say his first grade debut, of course. Byron Ginn, who scored in that 3-1 defeat midweek against Sydney FC. Just a consolation, as it turned out. Sydney United work it back through Kalach. Ivancic wants it on this near touch line. Instead, it will float his way out towards Nakamura. He's been scintillating this season, as has this man here, de Oliveira. Didn't have the beating of his opponent on that occasion, though. He'll have the throw. Here is de Oliveira. Slaloming, driving inside, bundled off it in the end. And this is certainly Carlos de Oliveira territory. Scored an absolute banger of a free kick last week, of course, in that 3-0 victory over Spirit FC. A fairly similar sort of position and range as well, as he eyes this one up. Ryan Woods will have to make sure that he's got his wall set just so. Angle certainly favours the right foot of de Oliveira as well. Does this have the same sort of quality as it did midweek? Through the wall. Straight at Wood in the end, though. Took a couple of bites to reel it into his grasp, but came at him at a rate of knots. The first real sight of goal here in just the 3rd minute at Landon Stadium. Hills unable to get it out of their own half at the moment. That's Byron Ginn stepping in, but They can't retain possession. De Oliveira has dropped deep to get some time on the ball. Ivancic now. The work is out via Tomalic. Driven long into the channel, just about dealt with, but De Oliveira will pick up the scraps here. It's good ball speed so far from Sydney United, still trying to work an opening here. Doesn't really arrive, it just closed in around them. Again though, De Oliveira picking up the loose ball. Here he is again, De Oliveira. Floated in towards Nakamura. Well, perhaps not the target man that you might expect in such a circumstances there, Shunta Nakamura. He is only 5'5" in the old measures. He did say he has been one of the signings of the season, certainly, for Sydney United. Coming across from Mount Druitt, 6 goals so far this season for Nakamura. Wasn't far away from a 7th, but here come Hills. Shots driven into the legs of one of the defenders there. Byron Ginn will pick up the scraps. It's a good-looking ball as well. Brought down into the path of Akubo, who was perhaps just on his heels there. Well, pass was just too far ahead of De Oliveira there. Easily dealt with, and Hills might just look to maintain possession for a bit here. Byron Ginn. Casserly. Of course, it's his first season in the top flight, Noah Casserly. Made his debut back in round 2 against the Wanderers and hasn't really looked back since, the big centre half. Gonzalez. Tomalic. Well, the move just breaking down. Frangian now. Nico Muller. Seems to be enjoying himself at Hills United, Nico Muller. Following his transition out of the professional, or the fully professional game. Spent some seasons, of course, at Western Sydney Wanderers and finished up at the Central Coast Mariners. Here's Frangi. Wide it will go. There's 3 or 4 in the area to aim for. It's floated high towards Akubo! Well, some save from Kalach. Just about at full stretch there. Stretching every sinew of his 6'1" frame to turn that around the post. That's just about the closest either side have come so far. Reasonably end-to-end stuff here in the opening 8 or so minutes, and Hills will have our first corner of the game. Massive bodies in the area to aim for. It's all too deep in the end. Frangi, I think it is, who's just watched that one out over the byline there, and they'll have a second corner in quick succession here. Referee, of course, tonight, Stephen Lucas, just playing headmaster, sorting out a couple of little set twos in the area there. Again, it's a crowded penalty area. It's right on top of Kalach. who just clawed that one away, really. Ivancic trying to twist around the attention of Cassidy. In the end, Kelshaw's seen just about enough of that. And I think he's won the throw as well, you know. Well, no, in fact, it's all the way behind for a goal kick. Well, plenty of Saturday night action, of course, across the National Premier League competition. We saw one that's just wrapped up down at Belmore. Sydney Olympic playing host to Sutherland Sharks. Sutherland, of course, in that, well, it's really a three-way relegation battle, dogfight, really, between them, Sydney FC and the Central Coast Mariners, who are, of course, in action tomorrow. We'll just see how this one plays out. Well, it plays out in Sydney United's favour. Akubo just going through the back of Gonzalez there. Good use of the body by Christian Gonzalez. And Sutherland pulled that one out of the fire. Ten Kuol had given Sydney Olympic the go-ahead goal with about 15 minutes to go. Mitchell Stamatellis scoring in 90+6 from the spot. A crucial point in that relegation dogfight there for Sutherland. Ryan Wood found himself under a little bit of pressure there as well, living dangerously. Brave or foolhardy, I'll let you decide. Well, it might just work out in Hill's favour. Gonzalez, I think, was first to the ball in. De Oliveira put a fair bit of juice behind that one. Stephen Lucas has copped that pretty flush. He's ward it well as well, the man in the middle. Kalach goes central once again towards Adam Basic. Now Nakamura drifting wide. He's got Ivancic overlapping and decides to use him as well. One touch to set himself. Second touch to drive the cross straight into the legs of Byron Ginn. So Sydney United's first corner of the evening now. Been a lively opening 10 or 11 minutes here at Landon Stadium from both sides. Really end-to-end stuff. No shortage of entertainment on offer, I should say. My apologies. The corner not really living up to the billing so far in this one. Adam Zervis taking. I think he might have missed the memo about no shortage of entertainment. Give him the benefit of the doubt, though. Just miss-hit. Not his finest moment. Ryan Wood showing no interest in playing out from the back. Stephen Lucas has spotted something in that collision in the air. It was Kubo who's perhaps just been a little bit too forceful aerially. Stephen Lucas unhappy with the challenge. We see another one there as well. So a quick succession or a quick series of free kicks here for Sydney United, just giving them some territorial advantage, which they immediately concede by recycling through Gonzalez. Aaron Basic letting the ball run. Just a throw at the end of it all for Sydney United. Who've certainly had the better of the possession, finding Hills Quite tough to break down, though, thus far. It's just getting a little bit scrappy out there in the middle of the park. Sydney United want to keep it moving. Gonzalez with a bit of a puzzle to figure out. Does well to bring it out of the sky. Ivancic. Tarek Meyer. Zervas. Just running out of real estate on the far touchline, though. Muller, oof, he's got in quite high there, Nico Muller. Doesn't mind a challenge. Did see red pretty early in the season. This one into the channel for Byron Ginn. Put on the afterburners to get there, but couldn't keep his cross in the field of play. Behind for a goal kick at the end of it all. Of course, in other action in the NPL New South Wales competition, Spirit FC currently leading the Wanderers Academy by a goal to nil. Michael Conestabo scoring in the 30th minute there. Half-time down at Wollongong. It's one apiece between the Wolves and Blacktown City. Whereas in the St George derby, it is St George City leading, about 20 minutes gone in that one there. Focus remains, of course, firmly here at Landon Stadium. Hills and Sydney United currently deadlocked at 0-0. Still yet to break that deadlock. Hills were looking to change that, but Sydney United are rapid in transition. Here's Nakamura. The ball was a bit behind him. He will pick it up regardless. De Oliveira. Meyer. McGing. Wide it will go. And straight into the arms of Ryan Wood. The cross all too close to the Hills gloveman. Easily dealt with. Again, long in the direction of Akubo. Christian Gonzalez gets there first and second, but he's turned it straight into touch under seemingly reasonably little pressure. Hills creeping forward once again. Muller. Well, I'm not sure what he saw on the sideline there, Nico Muller. Usually such an impressive range of passing. Operating as that sort of deep-lying playmaker today. The old Sunday League adage of box them in, boys, I'm sure was called out there. It's a great effect as well. Muller. Mako. Everyone behind the ball for Sydney United. Here's Casserly. Muller. Twisting and turning to evade the attention of Nakamura. Byron Ginn. And working it all the way back to Ryan Wood. It's Petkovsky. And again back to Woods. Sydney United just not really looking to press. Hills. They'll look to play it down that left channel. Hoisted high and deep into the area. It's Kelshaw. Just trying to bustle his way through. Didn't pay off for him that time. Hill's enjoying a bit of a sustained period of possession here with Thomas Mako now centrally. Again. Mako again. Petkovsky Thought about carrying it forward out of defence. Instead, finds Muller. And now Frangi in the channel in a good bit of space there. Driven across the face. That could have ended up just about anywhere. He'll get another go here as well, will Frangi. Measuring up his options there. Just exchanging passes now with Ginn. Mako. This is good from Hills. Hoisted in towards Akubo. And they'll get a third bite at it here as well. Akubo. Sydney United standing firm for now. Muller. Ginn. Hills continue to push and probe and try and work this opening here with Frangi. Kelshaw. Little back heel there. Ginn read it well and picks it up from his teammates. Petkovski. It's pass after pass after pass. Akubo with the flick on. Again, hoisted in towards Akubo. We'll pick it up eventually as well. It's Mako. Tangled legs, and Akubo will pick up the scraps and finish. Hills United break the deadlock inside 20 minutes here at London Stadium. And in all fairness, it's nothing less than that sustained period of pressure absolutely deserved. The ground announcer, Dave McDonald, going absolutely wild in the media box, I'm sure. And Hills United have blown this one wide open here at Landon. Goal number 6 of the season for you, Akubo. He's having a good debut season in Hills yellow. Joined straight from the J3 League over in Japan, of course. A couple of Japanese internationals out there as well. We mentioned Shunta Nakamura for Sydney United, who's drifted into the area here. Flag was up in any case. Eagle-eyed Justin Davies, match reporter next to me here, has spotted that one going out over the byline there, so just a goal kick. Whereas I perhaps need to increase my prescription on my glasses. Here's Ginn. Hills with their tails up now. Akubo. All thanks to that man. Inside it goes towards Kelshaw. Liam McGing first on scene. Tidying up for Sydney United. Muller. Petkovski. Here's Ginn. De Oliveira got a toe in there. Nakamura and then Tomalich now for Sydney United. Meyer. Gonzalez and McGing. It's all in front of them now. Back with McGing. They just recycle here. Gonzalez. Raking crossfield pass into the far channel. Sydney United's turn to try and work an opening. Well, expertly defended. The clearance wasn't half bad either as well. Akubo, how's your touch? Not bad, he says. Clipped forward towards Nakamura. Again, it's Byron Ginn. It's had a good opening 24 or so minutes here. De Oliveira. Zervas. Now it's Tomalic. Meyer. No way through as it pops out favourably for Frangi. That's not a half bad turn as well to take him away from the attention of Meyer. It might have been Aaron Basic, actually. My apologies. Hills United, well, living dangerously again, but it's just about paid off. It's a half-decent looking run in behind as well from Kelshaw. The ball was just a little bit ahead of him. Kalach was always favoured to get there. Hills United turn up the pressure a little bit here. They do have that solitary goal advantage. Sydney United opt to stop playing out there. They could have very easily played their way into trouble. De Oliveira. Back into that channel it goes, and Petkovski again easily able to deal with it. Flicked on by Muller. He'll have it back as well. Meyer. Again, Sydney United just looking to force the pass somewhat, really. Hoisted clear by Noah Casserly. Just relieving the pressure more than anything. Well, that result so far down at St George is not looking favourable for Sydney United, of course. Sydney United currently in 6th with 33 points. They do have the favourable goal difference over St George City, but St George City with that 1-goal lead so far down there would match them on points, 33 each. Wollongong not far behind on 30 as well, so really blows that race for finals wide open. Again, clipped in towards Akubo. Kalach read it well. De Oliveira. It was another, of course, statement signing at the start of the season, Carlos De Oliveira. Came across from Blacktown City. Started every game so far this season for Sydney United as well. He's already matched his goal and his yellow card tally for last season as well. Seven goals for the season, 4 yellow cards so far for Carlos De Oliveira. But it's all about Hills United at the moment. Here's Casserly. Nakamura pressing to great effect as well. Casserly nearly playing into trouble. Able to recover, finding Muller, who again wants to try and clip one in behind for Akubo. All too much on it from the German. Easy for Kalach. Now Sydney United look to get him behind. Well, they did momentarily. The move breaking down even quicker than it's formulated. Gonzalez and McGing once again exchanging passes, the two centre halves. In towards Aaron Basic it goes. Straight back out it comes. Left for De Oliveira, who was dumped to the deck. Stephen Lucas saying shoulder to shoulder and on we go. Just a good old school footballing challenge, really. Here he is, De Oliveira. Meyer. And again, no way through. Okubo, I fancy, might be offside. Yes, indeed, the flag is up. He's the difference so far here at Landon Stadium through the first half an hour or so. Okubo unlocking Sydney United's defence in the first, or in the 20th minute, I should say. Not quite in the first minute. It was the first goal, and it is the only goal between these two sides at the moment. Ivancic for Sydney United. Hills, of course, will be looking to banish the demons of the earlier season encounter between these two sides. Back in round 5. Somehow feels like just yesterday, but also feels like an eternity ago. I'm finishing 3-0 in favour of Sydney United, who are a goal behind, but looking to change that here. Well, not quite. This time it's Hill's turn to be rapid in transition with Muller, awaiting the supporting cast, which does eventually arrive. Perhaps just allowing Sydney United to get bodies back behind the ball, though. Here's Muller again. That's the experience of Nico Muller. Makes it look like he's got so much time. He's able to dictate the tempo, dictate the ball speeds. Here's Petkovski, speaking of experience. Slide rule ball in behind as well. 2 to aim for in the middle. Opting not to use either of them and drawing a fairly sharp save. A smart-looking save out of Oliver Kalach down at his near post. He had to be quite snappy to get down to it. It was Jordan Lane who burst into the area there. Another good chance for Hills United. Here's Kelshaw, clipped in towards Okubo. He was twisting, shooting on the turn. Couldn't quite find a pocket of space either side of Oliver Kalach. I very nearly said Zelko Kalach there. Zelko Kalach, of course, not donning the gloves for Sydney United anymore. Taking up his role as head coach, while son Oliver continues the Kalach name. Driven long by Gonzalez. Looked like that was Meyer who rose highest there. Illegally so.
Scores from around the grounds. Full time, Sydney Olympic 1, Sutherland Sharks 1. Full time, NWS Spirit 1, Western Sydney Wanderers 0. 51 minutes, Wollongong Wolves 1, Blacktown.
Well, Hills in no real hurry to get things moving again here. Stephen Lucas just giving some gentle words of encouragement for those in yellow to take the restart, which Ryan Wood eventually does oblige. Here's Ginn. And Kelshaw buzzing around everywhere, and now Muller. I think he half thought about the shot for just a split second there, Nico Muller. Thought better of it. Frangi, here is Muller again. Mako, and across the back it goes. Hoisted in towards Akubo again, all too close to Oliver Kalach in the end. Comfortable take for the goalkeeper. Gonzalez, Ivancic. Move again, just breaking down. There's a cheeky little nutmeg there as well from Ginn on Adam Basic. They'll have it back though. De Oliveira. Just created a couple of yards of space. De Oliveira. Shot was blocked. Capable of the spectacular, the Sydney United talisman. Clipped in by Gonzalez again towards the back stick. Final touch, I think, was perhaps Jordan Lane there. Another Sydney United opportunity from the set piece. They've found clear-cut opportunities. Pretty hard to come by. This one is delivered outswinger. There's a bit of chaos in the box there as well. Ryan Woods unhappy with the late contact from Shunta Nakamura and his eagerness to try and get the final touch. As we said, he's been ever present in goal. Here's Kelshaw, mind you. Akubo. Back to goal, just awaiting the supporting cast. Finds one in the form of Ginn, Casserly. Frangi. Good turn from Anthony Frangi as well. Kelshaw, and he'll get the return pass as well with Frangi with a couple of yards of space. Muller. Nico Muller, just a sighter. I think I saw his eyes light up from here, actually, Nico Muller, when that bouncing ball was presented to him from that sort of range. It's certainly not beyond his capabilities. Two goals to his name so far this season, Nico Muller. Scored one against his previous employers, the Central Coast Mariners, just a couple of weeks ago. As we said, the Mariners, of course, themselves in action tomorrow as part of that relegation dogfight, taking on Sydney FC up on the coast at Plume Park in Lisarow. A game that is a real six-pointer for both sides. Here's De Oliveira for Sydney United. Nakamura. De Oliveira. Half thought about the shot, I think. Adam Basic juggling. Just never really sat for him, though. Marco Adam Basic, one of a couple of players who came across to Sydney United from the Bulls Academy this season, along with head coach Zelko Kalach himself. Jordan Ivancic was the other, rejoining his boyhood club, Ivancic. Good-looking ball from Frangi there. I think Akubo has just about stayed on side. He has indeed. Clipped into the area as well. Good header from Kelshaw. Didn't quite time it to perfection. The technique was decent, though. Down into the ground as well. direction though, straight at Kalach. I'll tell you what, Hills United have been exceptional value for their lead here tonight at Landon. But for a couple of half-decent saves from Kalach, they could be a couple of goals to the goods. Sydney United on the ball now though. Meyer. Ivancic. Tomalic. De Oliveira. Just over 5 minutes or so in the first stanza of this one here at Landon remaining, plus any time that might be added on. I don't think we'll see all too much. Here is Ivancic. Well, he took the cross on in an awful sort of hurry there, did Jordan Ivancic. I'm not sure he realised perhaps just how much time he actually had. He could have taken a touch or two to set himself, but in the end, just skewed rather off the outside of his left boot, I should say, and sort of spooned that one into the canteen behind the goal. Some massive bodies tussling in the middle of the park. Eventually breaks kindly for Nico Muller. All the way back to Wood, who goes long this time. Headed down straight into the body of Iwakubo. De Oliveira able to pick up the scraps and wants to launch one forward with a great deal of urgency, perhaps too much though. And now Hills United looking to add a second as well. Spooned into the bottom right corner. The deflection was oh so cruel. And Hills United are 2 goals to the goods. Is number 11, Anthony Frangi.
Goal for Hills United, scored by number 11, Anthony Frangi.
The 4th goal of the season for the 27-year-old. What an excellent acquisition he's been for Hills United this season as well.
Hills United 2, Sydney United 58-0.
And Hills United, all of a sudden, are 2 goals to the good here at Landon. That's Anthony Frangi's first goal, in fact, since March. His last goal was the opener all the way back in round 8 in Hills United's 2-1 victory over Manly. So perhaps a positive sign, a positive omen in some ways for Hills United, that the last goal that Anthony Frangi scored in, they won. Sydney United shell-shocked. There's Tomalic. McGing. Tomalic closed down pretty quickly around him as well. Hills with that 2 banks of 4 in behind. Once again proving difficult to break down. Nakamura's dropped deep and central to try and get a couple of additional touches on the ball now, buzzing between the lines. Still they push and probe and try and work that opening. Here is Nakamura. And again, it just breaks down. And again, Hill's able to carry it forward out of defence. Now, I think that was Thomas Mako who was striding forward there. And he is absolutely apoplectic that Stephen Lucas has called him back. He felt that he had the advantage. Stephen Lucas pulling it back for the free kick on the shirt tug. I'm not sure if it was the first, the second or the third shirt pull that he's pulled it back for, but it was one of them regardless. But if nothing else for Hills United, it's a chance to take out some more valuable seconds as this one creeps towards the signal of the end of the first stanza. Hills just looking to box in Sydney United once again, as expertly done. Kelshaw, Frangie, slaloming in, had his heels clipped on the way through as well. Not according to referee Stephen Lucas, though. Frangie felt that he was unfairly impeded and collected the ball with his arms. Stephen Lucas giving the free kick for handball to Sydney United. So on we go. Meyer. De Oliveira. McGing. Nakalandra. Nakamura. Ivancic on this near touch line, looking to utilise the full width of the pitch here, trying to stretch Hills out of shape. Initially it looked like a half-decent ball off the boot of Nakamura, but the tail on it took it all the way into the grateful arms of Ryan Woods. 30 seconds or so to go until the conclusion of the half, plus any time added on. There's Frangie. Scored that second goal from all of about 25 yards. Did look like it took a big deflection on the way through. It's certainly his goal, though. Petkovski striding forward from the heart of defence.
The fourth official has advised there will be 1 minute of time added on.
Just the 1 minute of time to be added on here at Landon Stadium at the end of the first half. Hills maybe looking to add a third, as well as they break into the area, pull back across the face. Sydney United just about able to deal with it in the end. Gonzalez, I think, with the final clearance. Here at Landon Stadium, Hills United with that 2-goal advantage. If they were to add a third before half-time, pardon the pun, it would leave Sydney United with an absolute mountain to climb. And that is all she wrote for the first 45 of this one here at Landon Stadium. A thoroughly entertaining opening 45 here between Hills United and Sydney United. Urakubo opened the scoring in the 20th. Anthony Frangie doubling his side's advantage. And that's how it stayed. We're off to a short break here on the Football New South Wales YouTube channels. Make sure that you join us for the second half in about 15 or so minutes' time.
United 58 and Hills United.
Well, a very, very warm welcome back to Landon Stadium here in round 20 of the NPL New South Wales men's competition. It's been an absolutely fascinating first 45 here between Hills United and Sydney United. You can see the scoreboard on the screen, I'm sure, showing Hills United 2, Sydney United 0. Goals to Yu Akubo and Anthony Frangi, leaving Sydney United with it all to do in the second stanza. The players are back, the officials are back. Well, the players are just about back anyway. A couple of late stragglers. Stephen Lucas just conducting his final checks, making sure that both sides have their full complement of 11 out there. And eventually the whistle goes and the whistle blows and away we go for the second stanza here at Landon, as signalled by referee Stephen Lucas. Hills United get us back underway in their traditional yellow kit with the blue trim, white shorts. Lakalandra was looking to operate in the wide area there. Daniel Petkovsky has just about sent that one to the next postcode. I'll pick that one up off the M2 on my way home. Here is Lakalandra. Clipped in towards a near post where Aaron Basic was lurking. Drawing a pretty sharp save out of Ryan Wood as well. This time down low to his left, quite sharp. Turning it behind, protecting that near post area. Zervas to take the resulting corner. Driven in centrally, headed half clear. Sydney United forced all the way back to recycle. Here's Tomalic. Wearing the armband today, Zervas. Tough tussle, leaving Adam Basic prone on the turf there momentarily. Heavy contact into the back of the big burly striker. And a couple of little afters here as well between he and Petkovsky. Stephen Lucas spotting it from afar. And there's the influence that Stephen Lucas has as well. A couple of sharp blows on the whistle and the players say, nothing's happening. It's all over. Don't worry about it. Well, he's still got a bit of sorting out to do here. Once again, playing headmaster. Eventually, it will be Christian Gonzalez to whip this one in. Perhaps not the finest delivery from Gonzalez. Couldn't beat the first defender, and Hills just about able to play it out. That was an interesting connection from Uakubo. Came at him at an awfully awkward sort of height and trajectory as well. Initially, perhaps thought about heading it and then thought about chesting it, and by the time it actually came to him, he might have been better off using his foot. That's whatever works. Here's Zervas. Nakamura. Back through McGing and Gonzalez. Nakamura thought about the shot. Does indeed. Bouncing off the chest of Ryan Wood, who wasn't quite as quick as perhaps he may have hoped to have been to recover. The ball just about spilling out to a couple of on-rushing Sydney United strikers. Hills United able to deal with the danger, the very clear and present danger as it was. Sydney United certainly opening the second half here, the brighter of the two sides. Zervas. Nakamura. Couldn't quite pick the lock on that occasion there, Nakamura. They'll have it back once again. Tomolic. De Oliveira gets the return pass as well. Carlos De Oliveira still going. De Oliveira! Well, blocked off at perhaps the very last opportunity. Corner taken quickly. Eventually whipped in. Unable to find anyone in a red jersey, though. Akubo using the entire width of the pitch, and that's a cheeky little nutmeg there as well on Gonzalez. On we go now. Frangi. Turned it over in the middle of the park. Muller unable to retain possession. They'll have it back, though. Working the wide area. Akubo has gone central. He's got plenty of time to set himself. Akubo perhaps had too much time, if anything. It looked like he may have dragged it wide, but it's taken a touch on the way through. Behind for a corner. Well, the opening 5 or so minutes of the second half have been just about all Sydney United. That would have been an absolute sucker punch if Akubo had been able to find the target for his second of the evening. Danger's not over yet, though. Everyone in the area here for Sydney United. A third goal would be just about catastrophic, but they won't find it like that. Frangi's delivery straight into the side netting. Kalach sending that one into the night sky. Aaron Basic bustling his way through. Aaron Basic clipped into the area as well. Aaron Basic wants it back. And they've pulled one back here, Sydney United. Wonderful work in the lead-up from Marco Aaron Basic. And the ball eventually broke for Carlos De Oliveira, the talisman for Sydney United, who tucks away his 8th goal of the season. Cool, calm and composed finish from Sydney United's number 10. Nothing less than what you'd expect from him. And my, we absolutely have a game on our hands here at Landon. It was Route 1 football, really, from Sydney United. Aaron Basic was causing no end of headaches. Kalach rising to claim that one. And now it's the away side who have their tails up as Zervis looks to skip inside. Working it wide was Meyer. Driven in centrally as well. And just for a second there, I think there was a few hearts in mouths around Landon Stadium. Daniel Petkovski, perhaps the coolest customer of the lot of them. Giving his centre-back partner a bit of a serve, though, as well. There in Noah Casserly. My apologies, actually. I think he was having a quiet word to Thomas Mako. Here they come again, Sydney United. Nakamura was looking to feed on the scraps there. Couldn't quite reel it into his grasp. Zervis will. Gets a shove from Cam Philp on his way through for good measure. Want to get things on the move quickly. Tomilic and Gonzalez now. McGing. Gonzalez again. Ivancic. Tarek Meyer. Again forced to recycle with McGing, I should say. Now Nakamura. No way through once more. Meyer. De Oliveira sizing up the opportunity. Half-hearted appeals for handball. Stephen Lucas uninterested. Frangi has his heels clipped by Tomilic, who was racing forward. I could see that coming from all of about 25 yards away. Anthony Tomilic, as we said, wearing the captain's armband tonight, looking to lead by example there. Understanding the assignments, understanding the urgency. There's still plenty of football to be played, of course. Well, we just have breaking news of a red card coming through in the St George derby. Meanwhile, let's just see how this develops. Clipped over the top. Could it be 3? Well, it's in the back of the net, but it's in the back of the net, if you know what I mean. The final effort was from, I think, Glenn Kelshaw. The ball did bounce at a pretty awkward sort of heights. Didn't quite get the connection or the direction that he needed. And behind it goes. Just as Hills United, well, that was a pretty golden opportunity, I feel. Perhaps should have done a little bit better there. Nakamura. Oh, that's a scything challenge. A ball and all challenge, says Stephen Lucas. Happy to play on. And as a frustrated centre-half myself, I don't mind seeing that. Here's Frangi. Mako. Casserly. Oh, how's the confidence from the young man? He said it's his breakout season this season, Noah Casserly. There's 1, 2, 3 or 4 fouls that could have been given there. Stephen Lucas waited to see if the advantage would ensue. It looked like it might eventually, but it didn't. And he will go to his pocket. Looks like Carlos de Oliveira, I think. I'll come back to you with exact confirmation on that in just a moment.
Scores in other matches. 89 minutes played. Wollongong Wolves 2, Blacktown City 2.
Certainly a professional foul.
9 minutes played. St George FC 0, St George City FA 1.
At the end of all the chaos, Hills United sweeping this one into the area. Well, it didn't even really make the area. Here's Muller. Muller again. Again, just playing conductor. Floating around everywhere. Seemingly given a bit of a free roll by Luke Casserly. As well he might. So experienced. Petkovsky. Casserly again. Turning out of trouble. Mako perhaps turning into trouble. He has indeed. And Sydney United have 4 on 3 if they're quick enough. Well, it broke down even before it even really got started. As we said, there's just been a red card in the St George derby. Presley Ortiz, I'm told, has been marched for St George City. St George City still with that 1-goal advantage, but that sets up a very interesting final half hour or so. And don't you dare go anywhere, though, of course. We've got a very interesting final half hour or so here at Landon as well. Stephen Lucas getting involved. You could perhaps hear through the effects mic some gentle coaching advice from some of the Sydney United fans towards Stephen Lucas there. Not sure if they were impressed or not impressed with his first touch. Mind you, here's Nakamura. Tomilich. Wide it comes again for Adam Zervas. And everyone behind the ball again for Hills United. Gonzalez, Nakamura. Such an elegant footballer, lovely footballer to watch. Tomilich, his clip delivery towards Lakalandra, and Aaron Basic had all too much on it. We're going to see the first change of the afternoon, or the evening, or the night, I should say. Looks like Marco Aaron Basic is being withdrawn for Sydney United. And number 7, Jordan Ivancic, also departing. Patrick Antelmi will come on in place of Aaron Basic. That's a straight swap, and it's not a bad one to have in your locker, in all fairness, as well. Antelmi, 9 goals for the season so far. I'll bring you exact confirmation on that other change in just a moment. If it was Jordan Ivancic who went off, it could be Matthew Hatch. It is indeed Matthew Hatch, I think. He's come on at left back.
Substitutions for Sydney United 58. Coming off, number 7, Jordan Ivancic. And number 12, Marco Aaron Basic. Being replaced by number 9, Patrick Antelmi. And number 11, Matthew Hatch.
Well, there you have it. There's a confirmation from the ground announcer here at Hills United at Landon Stadium, Dave McDonald. Matthew Hatch coming on to replace Ivancic. Well, his word is as good as any. It's all getting a bit spicy out there on that far touchline as well. 3 or 4 of those in red shirts involved. Stephen Lucas has a bit of figuring out to do here. Both sets of players just getting a bit of a talking to. Nothing but a throw in at the end of it. Here's Nakamura. Clipped inside. Gonzalez. McGing. Gonzalez now carrying it forward from the heart of defence. Meyer clipped in behind. Sliding challenge. Had to be inch perfect and was just about, but Tomilich will retrieve it. Zervas. Going one way and the other now, Zervas. before eventually a combination of Kelshaw and Mako say, that's enough out of you. Behind for just a goal kick at the end of it. Driven long, missed by a couple of defenders as well. Eventually, Christian Gonzalez will hook it half clear, but only as far as Frangi. Frangi now. Inside it goes. Turned around the corner by Uakubo, who was then, well, rather unceremoniously felled. Could just about feel the contact from here. Christian Gonzalez just going through the legs of Hills United number 9. Who's been dangerous this evening. Of course, has a goal to show for his troubles as well. And Hills United, well, this is in a pretty tantalising sort of position as well to perhaps add a third in their goals for column. Anthony Frangi standing over this one. Well, it's not beyond his capabilities. He did score an absolutely spectacular goal in the first half, and he's gone direct for goal here as well. It's got the direction, had the requisite up and down trajectory as well. But a fairly regulation routine sort of save for Oliver Kalach at the end of it. Straight into the breadbasket of the Sydney United goalkeeper. Here's Nakamura. Space closed down around him very quickly. Tarek Meyer. Gonzalez. Sweeping crossfield ball in the direction of Matthew Hatch. Couldn't quite measure the cross. It's been a very physical sort of challenge on Shunta Nakamura from Jordan Lane here. Nakamura knows there's no time to waste, and he's stolen a couple of yards as well on Jordan Lane. I'm not sure perhaps if that was a bit of gamesmanship from the former J2 star. He's been exceptional all season. He's been busy tonight. That was a different kind of creativity, I think, from Sydney United's number 8. Meanwhile, Matthew Hatch in behind. Hung up deep. Headed clear as far as Tomilic, and the shot at the end of it straight into a massive body. Zervas will hook it back in. Hung in the air for an age as well. And at the end of it, the strike from Shunta Nakamura. Well, we were just lauding how good he's been all season. And he's popped up with a crucial goal in the finals race here.
Goal for Sydney United 58. Scored by number 8, Shunta Nakamura. Hills United 2, Sydney United 58.
Goal number 7 of the season for Shunta Nakamura. That is, of course, his best return since his arrival in the NPL system. Mind you, that was only in 2023, of course. And it just goes to show he keeps getting better and better. Hills United have seen their 2-goal deficit wiped away. They could find themselves behind as well for the first time this evening. Tomilic sizing up the opportunity. It's not far away, you know. Looking for a captain's knock there, Anthony Tomilic. Had Ryan Woods interested. Confident that he had his angles correct at the end of it, the 24-year-old. Here's Antelmi. Antelmi driving towards goal. Left-footed strike, just skewed wide, hooked it rather. We might see our first changes of the evening very shortly for Hills United. Looks like Jamal Belcardi is getting stripped and ready for action. Just about enough time to take the goal kick before his introduction. Well, the ball was only in play a matter of moments. Jamal Belcardi still not quite being readied or introduced, I should say. Receiving some final instructions from the Hills United technical team. Nodded down by Akubo and then Kelshaw. Liam McGing sending that into the stars. And, well, tensions certainly starting to flare a bit here at Landon Stadium. Sydney United are incensed at the award of that free kick by Stephen Lucas. I think it's probably fair to say it was almost certainly the right call. Just under 20 minutes of regulation time to go here at Landon. We're all square once again. As this one is hooked out towards Kelshaw. Good first touch. Well, the second touch, perhaps the less we say about it, the better. But in Sunday League parlance, that's a carton. We might just about see that change now for Hills United, or will we? No, we won't. Petkovsky. Going to see, I think, perhaps now these substitutes coming on for Hills. Looks like so. Number 10, Jamal Belcardi, and the number 14, Sam O'Connor, will be coming on. Nico Muller will take his leave.
Substitutions for Hills United. Coming off, number 27, Nikolai Muller, and number 19, Glenn Kelshaw.
Glenn Kelshaw, the other withdrawn.
Number 10, Jamal Belcardi, and number 14, Sam O'Connor.
Two changes apiece. Now between Hills United and Sydney United, 2 goals apiece between these two sides. Will we find a winner in the final 15 or so? Well, we can bring you news on a goal elsewhere as well in the St George derby. We said just moments ago there was a red card for St George City, but they've added a second. It's all happening. So they are 2 goals to the good over St George Saints. Big shout out to Eric Sibiano on the call down there this evening. And here at Landon Stadium, of course, 2 goals apiece. And what has been an absolutely fantastic enthralling contest between these two sides. As we said, Hills United looking to consolidate their spot in the competition for 2025 and beyond. Still plenty of football still to be played, of course. 10 games, 10 rounds still after this as we edge our way into the final third of the season. 30 points on offer. Sydney United looking to consolidate their spot in the top 6 and secure finals football with the reintroduction of finals in the NPL this season. Unable to break through, and they could be 3-on-3 if they're quick enough. Hills. Here's a Kubo. Feels the contact in the back, and Adam Zervas will find himself the latest entrant into Stephen Lucas's little black book there. A Kubo, of course, who broke the deadlock initially in the 20th minute. Anthony Frangi added a second. They've been pegged back in a very professional second half performance so far from Sydney United. Carlos de Oliveira and Shunta Nakamura firing to restore parity. But it's Hills United and it's Anthony Frangi. My apologies, it's Hugh Kubo standing over this. Anthony Frangi was just having a couple of words with the wall. Just ensuring the 10-yard measurement is correct, perhaps. Akubo going direct for goal, straight into the wall, though. Hoisted out to this near touchline with Frangi. A couple of little step overs as well, to no real effect. Clipped in by Jordan Lane. Jordan Lane, again, nodding it straight back in. It's a bit of aerial tennis before it finally breaks for Antelmi. Good looking pass here. Just about in behind. Hills United once again able to deal with the danger. Well, it's a game that's been played at a fantastic pace, fantastic zip to it. Frangi didn't quite break kindly enough for him. Here's Zervas measuring the cross. Well headed clear. I think that might have been Casserly. And Jamal Belcardi has found himself with a bit of space to operate in here as well. Well, he spilled it. Kalach has spilled it, but the flag is up on the far touchline. Anthony Frangi thought just for a split second, for all money, that he'd fired his side ahead for the second time. But it wasn't to be. The flag was up immediately as Kalach just lost his bearings there. Well, it's all happening here at Landon. Mako spraying one white. Belcardi. It was his ball in that caused the danger. You can't afford to lose concentration for even a split second as a goalkeeper. Not sure, maybe the lights might have caught his eye there. Oliver Kalach. But they escaped, certainly. Well, momentum in this game has frantically swung from one end to the other. Sydney United playing their way into trouble, running into a dead end, twisting and turning at the top of the box. Finds its way back out towards Belcardi. My apologies, that was Sam O'Connor, in fact. A matter of millimetres away from Kalach's right hand upright. That would have been some introduction from Sam O'Connor. Turns 22 this year. He's made 6 appearances, all off the bench. This is 7th appearance for the season off the bench. Just about put his name up in lights there as well. You can't take your eyes off this one for a second. Thrown in by Zervis, headed down by Lane. Belcardi over the top. Frangi. Maybe just forcing the pass, but Gonzalez momentarily lost it. McGing able to regather it. Here's Hatch, the speedster, looking to utilise his pace. That's a fantastic sliding challenge, though, to halt his advance. And they could be in behind once again. Hills here. Clipped in centrally, and the clearance could have gone just about anywhere. At the end of all the chaos, we'll have another corner for Hills United. That one broke so rapidly for them. The ball across the face, intended for Uakubo, who was nearly, oh so nearly, able to latch onto it. There's no real sort of urgency here to take the resulting corner. I think it's Anthony Frangi who's eventually regathered the ball. And again, they just look to crowd that 6-yard box. Kalach, it's a good take from the young gloveman as well. He had to rise amongst massive bodies there. And it's not a half bad release as well, you know. A tussle between Antelmi and the Hills United fullback, eventually going the way of Hills United, the free kick, I should say. Brought out of the sky and delivered across the deck to Akubo. Frangi. Good little triangle forming there. Frangi. Clipped in. Well, it was going in the direction of Kalach. Had an interesting sort of tail on it, the delivery from Frangi. Gonzalez and McGing eventually dealing with the danger before Kalach was able to pick up on the scraps. Looks like we're going to see a double change coming up as well for Hills United. So Byron Ginn off. And Sunday Yona will take the field for the final 7 or so minutes here at Landon.
Substitution for Hills United. Coming off number 22, Byron Ginn. Replaced by number 24, Sunday Yona.
Nakamura. Hung up towards the back stick. Headed towards goal as well. Straight at Ryan Wood, who gratefully clutches that one to his chest. Long it goes. Knotted down by Akubo. He's been fantastic tonight. Lane. Akubo again. O'Connor. Still O'Connor. Wide it goes. Yona's first touch on the ball. Trying to force his way through and eventually may have giving himself away with a handball there. There's a shot after the whistle had gone. The Sydney United player has worn that absolutely flush as well. Being told this was Tariq Meyer. Just having a look on the replay here. Oh, wow. Straight into the side of the noggin of Tariq Meyer. Surprised he's up and about as quickly as he was, in all fairness. Well, 5 or so minutes to go here at Landon Stadium. 5 or so minutes for either side to pinch all 3 points, potentially. Nakamura can't force his way through. And then, is that Thomas Mako who's had his heels clipped on the way through as well? It looked like it might have opened up for half a second there, but a professional foul for Tariq Meyer, who may just be still getting his bearings back. Match reporter Justin Smith thinking that perhaps he's seeing 2 Thomas Makos out there. I'm seeing double, 4 Thomas Makos. I think amidst all the chaos as well, we might have had a change here for Sydney United. We'll bring you news on that in just a second, as Antelmi has drifted into a wide pocket. Shifting onto his left, still going Patrick Antelmi, and cleared by O'Connor. Belcardi trying to bring it down, unable to do so. Here's Zervas. Always busy, always buzzing around. Belcardi, though, picks his pockets. Sprays one into the channel for Frangi. Wide it goes. Frangi now with a couple of yards to try and fashion something. Oh, one way and the other here.
Substitution for Sydney United 58. Coming off, number 2, Christian Gonzalez, replaced by number 4, Adrian Vlastelica.
Well, there's confirmation on that change for Sydney United. Club captain Adrian Vlastelica on. Christian Gonzalez off. So a straight swap at the heart of defence. Meanwhile, a handball in favour of Hills United here, and another chance for, it looks like Anthony Frangi standing over this one. Well, no, he's left it. Thanks for that, Anthony. Jordan Lane coming across to take. Hills United have a lot to thank Anthony Frangi for, in all fairness, so tonight. Sensational strike for their second goal of the evening. It did take a wicked deflection. Delivered in from Lane. It's oh so deep, it's all too deep. Belcardi unable to reel it into his grasp. Central Coast Junior is Jamal Belcardi. One of a couple of Coast Juniors out there, of course. Belcardi and his older brother Bilal Belcardi played some junior football at Avoca FC. Matthew Hatch is the other. Still resides on the coast as well. Played local football for Woy Woy Roosters and Kincumber as well. Nakamura wants to isolate his defender here. Central it will go. It's towards Meyer. They can't pick the lock, though. And Hills have been so good in transition all night. It's Yona. It's offside. For the most part, Hills have been excellent in terms of absorbing the pressure that Sydney United have thrown at them, but Zervas could be in behind Lane here. Heavy touch, just took it away from the Sydney United number 6, though. I think it was Petkovski coming across to effect the clearance. They'll go across the back line once more. Vlastelica looking to show off his range of passing. It's pretty good as well, you know. Zervas and Nakamura combining. Hooked in. Half-hearted cries of handball. It's going to come straight back in, though, and knotted down by Lakalandra, I think. A few choice words of encouragement as well from those in the stands. Yona again looking to get in behind Vlastelica. Vlastelica just about able to deal with the danger. Nakamura. Antelmi. Could he be the one to break the deadlock here? Lakalandra. Antelmi! From 2-0 down in the depths of despair. Right through to the 90th minute. To 3-2 up. Patrick Antelmi. Well, we did just say, will he be the man to do it? His 10th goal of the season. And perhaps his most important one yet. What a game we have witnessed here at Landon Stadium this evening. A bit of a Jekyll and Hyde performance of sorts from Sydney United. Patrick Antelmi's 10th of the season has quite possibly given them all 3 points, but it ain't over till it's over. Hills United now desperately looking for a share of something out of this one. Lane hung up towards the back stick. Kalach rising and claiming. Free kick going in favour of Oliver Kalach. I could have just carried on with that and said Zelko Kalach's side, but I've given myself away. Well, a penny for your thoughts. Speaking of Zelko Kalach, or a penny for yours as well, Luke Casserly. Could be the tale of two dressing rooms after this one here. Well, football, hey? Justin Davies, match reporter, had his match report all ready to go, and I'm pretty sure was just about to hit submit as well. But Patrick Antelmi has flipped the script on this one. Hoisted forward again by Hills. Belcardi trying to race onto the end of it. Perhaps one last roll of the dice here. Sunday Yona. Desperate, dogged defending here by Sydney United. Nearly everyone back behind the ball. Nearly everyone forward for Hills United. And they'll have to be careful they don't leave themselves overexposed. It's 2-on-2 if they're quick enough here. Hills United recovering pretty quickly. And they're able to just about regather their shape and their structure. Hills United just in time. A Sydney United goal there would have absolutely been all she wrote. Well, there was 3 minutes of time signalled, added on. We're well and truly through that 3 minutes now. Of course, there was an extra minute or so after Oliver Kalach went down injured, but that is absolutely now all she wrote here at Landon Stadium. An absolutely thrilling contest here between Hills United and Sydney United 58. Sydney United continue their march on towards the top 6 and finals for 2024 in the NPL New South Wales competition. A come from behind 3-2 victory at the expense of Hills United. It was goals in the first half for Hills by Akubo, my apologies, and Anthony Frangi, of course. They were cancelled out in the second half by Shunta Nakamura, Carlos de Oliveira, and Patrick Antelmi. And a crucial 3 points in Sydney United's hunt for finals football. It's been an absolute pleasure having you along for company this evening on the Football New South Wales YouTube channels, where I'm so excited I can barely get my words out. But from me, Pete Pryor, and all of us here at Football New South Wales, is bye for now.